আখাড়া স্টাডিতে তোমাদের স্বাগত। আজ আমরা পশ্চিমবঙ্গ মধ্যশিক্ষা পর্ষদের দশম শ্রেণীর ইংরেজি বই ব্লেসের অষ্টম অধ্যায় দ্য স্নেল কবিতাটি নিয়ে আলোচনা করব। This poem was written by William Cowper, one of the most widely read English poets of the 18th century. While many writers of his era focused on sweeping, majestic landscapes, Cowper pointed his pen in a different direction. He found his inspiration in the quiet corners of the English countryside, observing the tiny, often overlooked details of everyday rural life. To really understand his perspective today, we are going to shrink our focus down. We are going to zoom in on the private, highly self-sufficient life of a creature that usually goes entirely unnoticed. Through the slow, deliberate movements of a tiny snail, Cowper explores how personal security is found in the most minute details of the natural world.
Let's look at the first stanza. To grass or leaf or fruit or wall, the snail sticks close, nor fears to fall, as if he grew there, house and all, together. Notice the distinct environments. Whether on grass, leaf, fruit, or wall, it adapts perfectly. Look at the physical reality of this grip. The snail anchors its body so firmly to these surfaces that gravity seems to lose its effect. Even hanging completely upside down over a sheer drop, the snail experiences zero fear of falling. Cowper captures this intense physical bond with a brilliant visual observation. The snail sticks so closely it appears as though it sprouted right there on the spot, fused entirely with the plant or stone beneath it. Because the snail is so physically integrated with its immediate environment, it moves through the world without the hesitation or anxiety that typically accompanies such heights. But this microscopic world is rarely peaceful for long. In the second stanza, Cowper introduces the concept of imminent danger. If something is imminent, it means it is highly likely to happen very soon. For a snail, imminent danger takes the form of severe weather. A sudden storm or heavy downpour can threaten such a small, exposed creature. Yet the snail doesn't panic, and it doesn't try to run away to find shelter elsewhere. Instead, it relies on its built-in defense mechanism, retreating deep inside its own personal house. Cowper views the shell as an impenetrable, weather-proof fortress. When the outside world turns chaotic, the snail locks itself inside this thick, armored dome. This mobile internal sanctuary provides the snail with a persistent defense that travels with it across every surface. Moving into the third stanza, the threat shifts. We go from the grand scale of a thunderstorm to a highly localized microscopic intrusion, a simple, direct touch. Give those extended eye tentacles, his horns, even the absolute slightest touch, and you trigger an immediate, highly sensitive biological reaction. Cowper calls this reaction the snail's self-collecting power. In a fraction of a second, the creature engages a rapid physical mechanic, pulling its soft body backward, compacting down, and sealing itself off completely. But pay close attention to Cowper's phrasing. The snail shrinks into his house with much displeasure. In Bengali, we would call this birokti. The snail isn't terrified by the touch, it is simply annoyed that its peace was disturbed. This rapid retreat serves a clear purpose. By shrinking away, the snail asserts its sovereign boundary, actively shutting out an irritating outside world to preserve its own quiet peace. In the final stanza, Cowper lays out his ultimate observation on solitude. Look at the opening lines. Where'er he dwells alone. Except himself has chattels none. Chattels means personal belongings, or shampati. The snail carries absolutely zero external possessions, and yet this lack of worldly goods doesn't make the snail poor. Because it requires nothing outside of its own being to survive, the snail is entirely well satisfied to be his own whole treasure. The snail illustrates how security and satisfaction can be entirely self-contained. By remaining independent of external belongings, it finds everything it needs within its own shell. আশা করি কবিতাটি তোমরা খুব ভালোভাবে বুঝতে পেরেছো। ভিডিওটি ভালো লাগলে আখারা স্টাডি ইউটিউব চ্যানেলটি সাবস্ক্রাইব করতে ভুলো অ্যাকাউন্টে। See you in the next lesson.